Yeah, I think it was the nature of the surface. Obviously, with the new ball, it came on really nicely, and we saw in both innings that after the power play, scoring was fairly difficult with the slow turn that the pitch produced. So I thought the first half was a really good effort to get to what we thought was a very competitive total, and it certainly looked that way for a long part of that chase. And both innings, the power play was crucial, and both sides certainly countered that and got sort of 55 and 60 respectively. But we knew that the middle and the back end, trying to give yourself an opportunity to get a few in those later overs by containing wickets, was going to be our best option, and we were able to do that, which was a real positive. And it was such a fine line, that game. For the last 4 overs to be in the position we were in, we thought it was very much a position of strength, because if you were to hit that wicket hard with slower balls, it was very difficult to get away. But unfortunately, we weren't as clinical as we would have liked to have been. Yeah, so as we sort of expected at the toss, the wicket was soft. So we knew that the spin on that surface was going to be one of the tougher parts to it. And as a batting unit, you're looking to skin it as best you can to get a competitive total, and how we assessed it, which I think was right, was that we wanted a good power play, which we were able to get when the ball was coming onto the bat, and then through the middle we needed to try and be busy, because they were going to be the biggest threats, and they were, and we were able to get to a position where we could then attack in the last sort of 6 overs or so. And certainly at the halfway stage, 160 on that wicket was what we believe was a very competitive total, and it was, like I mentioned, for a long part of that innings we wanted to execute our skills well, and unfortunately there were just some small margins that we weren't quite at our best, and at the end of the day that was perhaps the change in the result as a unit. Basically with that side, we felt that the right arm option, obviously the cutters going away from the left-hander, was our best bet. But the nature of the sport that we play, and there's some pressured moments, and Rashid's a fantastic player, and we were put under pressure, and we didn't quite, I guess, execute our skills as best we could have. But it's such a fine margin that there's so many parts in a game that you reflect on. Could we have gone better here? Could we have gone better there? But at the end of the day, we put our best foot forward and try to play our best cricket. And unfortunately, it was a little bit of a theme of our season, where we were never sort of beaten convincingly. We were always in every contest, but we couldn't quite just get across the line this year, which is frustrating. Look, this season, I suppose in contrast to last season, where I think we might have had 4 or 5 matches, very, very close games, and we were on the right side of those results. This year we've been in very similar positions. We've had super overs, we've had times a little bit like today, and once again there's been about 4 or 5 of those matches where we haven't been on the right side of any of those results. And I guess if you reflect back, there's some frustrating moments, but also a lot of positive moments, where every game we were in with a chance to win, and unfortunately there were times we weren't able to capitalise on that. So to qualify with 6 wins, although it doesn't look pretty, it is what it is, and we were the 4th team in terms of the table and what we were able to achieve. But I guess it's a little bit frustrating when the margin is so small, and we were sort of on the losing side of so many of those small margins. Even the last sort of 3 matches we played, there were some solid performances that we were just sort of nipped in the bud right towards the end. So some learning for the squad for next year, but at the same time it's just disappointing to be departing the competition. Khalil's been outstanding for us in his ability to pick up wickets in the power play and through the middle when we've brought him back. So he's been a real threat for us this season when he's had his opportunities, and he showed that again today, picking up 2 wickets in that over, which changed momentum quickly. And I guess on this surface we knew that if you're able to get those breakthroughs, which often happen outside the power play when you can move your field around a little bit more, then you're able to apply that pressure, and starting out there outside the power play is something that's very difficult, which we saw in both innings. So it was nice that we were able to pick up those wickets, and Khalil was a big part of that. I never lie in bed and consider those things that you mentioned. For me, it's just trying to play for the team that I'm in as best as I can, and those two guys that you've mentioned are world-class players, and it's just nice of you to consider my name perhaps in the same sentence, but those guys are outstanding and world-class at what they do, and I certainly admire how they operate. For me, personally, in my season, it's been a little bit frustrating, a little bit disjointed, but then I guess if you reflect and try and look at it with a rational mind, there's been so many occasions where our openers have been outstanding, which I guess pushes everything back, and you come in and your role changes a little bit, and you're trying to adapt as well as you can, and some of your contributions look a little bit different, but at the same time you're just trying to go out and make a contribution for your team. So it's one of those things, it's the nature of the sport that we play, and just keep trying to learn and improve. In the World Cup, it's a really exciting opportunity, the World Cup, obviously every 4 years, so the new format, I know all teams are really looking forward to it, and everyone on their day can beat each other, which makes way for a really exciting event. Obviously frustrating to depart this tournament early, but go home for a few days before leaving for the World Cup, so it'll be nice to just have a little bit of time at home before heading away.